What's your Tyler's back with my Unforgiven 2003 review. Again, just doing these random reviews for the remainder of August. So yeah, I'll do my 1995 review series for season 11 probably in September, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah. This was a solid show. So yeah, September 21st, a Raw exclusive period. This is actually the second Raw exclusive period. The first one was Bad Blood 2003, back in June. Probably will do that someday. Who knows? Anyways, let's get to the show. The main event is Goldberg versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship, and there was two stipulations. If Goldberg loses, he has to leave WWE. Not until WrestleMania 20, that is. But if Triple H gets disqualified or counted out by Steve Austin, if Steve Austin said if Triple H gets counted out or disqualified, he automatically loses the World Heavyweight Championship. So, yeah. So let's get to Unforgiven 2003. There's also Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton. There's also a last minute staying match between Kane and Shane. And, yeah. First match is a tables match for the World Tag Team Championships. This is basically a handicap match. The Dudley Boys. Now, it was originally supposed to be all three of them, but Spike got injured before this event. So, yeah. So, if the Dudley Boys of Bubba and Devon Dudley defeats all three members of Lawler vs. Dawn. So, yeah. Why couldn't the Dudley Boys won the titles at SummerSlam instead of here? Somebody else in the main event who should have won the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam instead of here, but I digress. This was a good tables match. I give it a 7. This was way better than the opener from SummerSlam 2003, which go back to that last month. Anyways, then this match is shit. Test defeats Scott Steiner, and there's a stipulation if it's for Stacy Keibler's services, and there was another stipulation if Test wins, he gets Scott Steiner's services, and he did. This led to Scott Steiner's heel run, and geez, Scott Steiner in WWE was not like he was in WCW. 3 years later, he will go to TNA and reinvent himself to get the Scott Steiner math promo. Go back to Sacrifice 2008 for that review. Yeah, this match sucked too. Anyways, then we have Randy Orton defeating Shawn Michaels. This was a good match. It was way better than our matches in 2007. Well, they were not bad, but they were overrated. And this was a legend versus legend killer match, and yeah, Randy Orton will win the following year. Won it at SummerSlam 2004. Go back to that, and then he dropped it at the next year's Unforgiven to Triple H. Boy, whenever I get to Unforgiven 2004, that is, if I ever do that. Anyway, this was a good match. I give it an 8. This was way better than their stuff in 2007, which only got lower ratings than that. So yeah. Anyways, Trish Stratus and Leah defeats Molly Holly and Gail Kim. This is Leah's first period match in a year since WrestleMania 18. Go back to that review. Yeah. This was fine. I give it a 6.5. Anyways, then we have a last minute staying match. Kane defeats Shane McMahon. This was a really good match. The story of this is, it was right after when Kane got unmasked, and then Tombstone's Lemon Man, and they caused Shane to come back, and this starts their feud. Well, they didn't have a match at SummerSlam instead of here, but that's kind of weird to have Shane fight Eric Bischoff and Kane fought Rob Van Dam on that night. Anyways, Kane wins this match. He won this match, and at Survivor Series, he won it again in that ambulance match. Both were fucking crazy-ass matches, and they were fun to watch. Kane wins this match, and then the night after, he beats him up in a hospital. I give it an 8. I don't know which one's better, this or the ambulance match. decide. Then we have a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Christian defeats Chris Jericho and Rob Van Dam to retain the Intercontinental Championship. This was a good triple threat match. During the show, Chris Jericho was threatening Stone Cold Steve Austin because of what happened to Lars just in the tables match. Are you fucking... Well, we'll get to the next match, but yeah. And I don't know why Christian won. I think a few weeks later, RVD won the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know. I give it a 7.5. It was a good triple threat match. Another side note, this will be the last time Nick Patrick was a referee on Raw because they swapped him and Mike Hero for the referee spot. So Mike Hero went to Raw and Nick Patrick went to SmackDown for referee spots. And yeah. A little side note there. Then we get this match. A tag team match for the rights to be the commentators for Raw. Al Snow and Jonathan Coachman defeats Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross. The story of this is when it was at SummerSlam, okay? Coach turned heel and became Employee of the Month. Who do you think you are? SpongeBob SquarePants? Sooner or later, I'll do battle for Bikini Bottom. I almost said Volcano Island. It's Bikini Bottom. And there's this whole thing with JR wants to get back on the Raw commentary booth, and John Coachman didn't Raw by the commentator's headset, and this led to Al Snow and Coach fighting JR and Jerry Lawler. And the worst part of it, there was no announcers. It's like you were playing a WWE game. If you turn off the announcer's volume to zero, that's what this match was. This was weird to watch. I'm getting a Jericho tweet. And speaking of Jericho, he interfered in this match and helped Coach and Al Snow win. But there was no point in this because 1 week after this pay-per-view, JR beat Coach to get back to the announcer's booth. And Jericho got awarded a World Heavyweight Championship match the night after this pay-per-view against the winner of the main against who won the main event. Spoiler alert. This was a awful match. Coach was terrible. JR was not a wrestler either, but fuck it. I'm giving it as a 0. This was the worst match of the night. Anyways, then we got the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's title versus career, basically. Had Triple H been disqualified or counted. But Goldberg defeats Triple H to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and then had Triple H been counted or disqualified, he would lose the title. Had Goldberg lost, he would have to retire from in-ring competition. Their Survivor Series match is better than this match. I don't know if this was still a good match. But Goldberg should have won the title at SummerSlam instead of here at Unforgiven. You should have fucking noticed, Vince. You should have pulled the fucking trigger on that. I give it a 6.5. It was... I think their Survivor Series match was better than this match. You should have had Goldberg win the World Heavyweight Championship here, Vince. You're fucking retired. Thank goodness. Get away from every creative booth. Okay? Glad Triple H is in charge now. But I can't blame this on Triple H. That was a Vince move. Now, this was 2003. Triple H was a wrestler at this point. So let's just not talk about it. Goldberg wins the World Heavyweight Championship after getting hit with a sledgehammer. Triple H was going to hit him again. And then we're going to have a flashback of SummerSlam. But now Goldberg spears him. Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3, and Goldberg wins the world title. And at least the fans went home happy instead of what happened at SummerSlam. But I mean, Goldberg had a really good run with the World Heavyweight Championship. Let's just be honest. The next night he fought Chris Jericho because he helped Coach. Jericho helped Coach and Al Snow won. I think that was because Eric Bish, it was to continue the feud with Bischoff and Austin that led to the Survivor Series. You already saw that review 2 years ago. So Goldberg is the World Heavyweight Championship. Then they did the Bounty storyline, which was actually a better storyline than what they did here. Unforgiven overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. It was better than SummerSlam. So there's that. Thursday I'll do my 2-day Battlegrounds, or actually I'll do Best of Each Night 4, perhaps, I don't know. Yeah. And then Tuesday I'll do Battlegrounds, and then I'll do No Mercy 2004. And then tomorrow I'll do my AEW Dynamite review. And Friday will be SmackDown. Like, comment, and subscribe, and bye.